breath has transformed my experience of prayer. Totally transformed my experience of prayer.
Yeah.
Learning to be able to use my breath to calm down and self-regulate has changed prayer from an anxiety and distraction riddled exercise that I want to quit the whole time I'm doing it to an exercise in presence and in peace. And to your point, it doesn't mean that your brain never wanders, but it means that tangible experience. I like rating things. I use that oftentimes in working with guys. How strongly did you experience that on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Right? That my experience of stopping to pray would create a kind of tension or discomfort that I would rate around in 7 to 9, depending on how well or poorly things were going emotionally in me.
Yep.
Right? But 7 is really the lowest it would get. And then I'd have these moments in more externalized singing, prayer, etc., that would be like a release. But that in its own right would be an exercise in sort of regulating where I'm releasing something, whether it be crying or crying out or singing or praising, that would create this sort of like anger does, right? Trying to externalize and get this stuff out of me. And then, on the other end of it, there's calm. I like that, right? And breath has done the same thing in my private prayer life, where by learning to even just take a few minutes, and I like your 10-minute benchmark of learning to be able to breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth, allows me to no longer experience that dramatic arousal of anxiety or excitement or tension or distraction, etc. But to just be present, to be available to it. And it's made a world of difference for me. And I've seen it do the same for men that we work with who have started to practice it. Now, 2 things I'd like to say, and then Nick, I'll let you land the plane, is first that it's going to be awkward, especially if you grew up, if my hypothesis is correct, and that early childhood attunement and co-regulation, or the lack thereof, has something to do with our experience of prayer as adults, how easy it is or simple it is to be able to experience that in the way that God designed us to experience that co-regulation with Him in prayer, that it's going to be awkward. That transition to learning to feel safe and to trust in that context is going to be difficult, because you'll be trying to do it for yourself, when through your life, in the earliest forms of your life, you were not designed to do it for yourself. And that's where this gift that God gave us, then learning to do that with Him, right, in the practicing the tools Nick just gave as a great way to do that, can allow you to co-regulate, not necessarily even by yourself, but with God in the moment, to learn how to do that as an adult. But that it's going to be awkward, because it's like learning affection for the first time if you've never had the experience of affection. It feels weird. It feels both equally curious and interesting, as well as uncomfortable and something you want to hide, right? And so doing it is going to make you feel unsafe, which is the reason why many of us stop, is because it feels unsafe. It feels awkward. It feels tension producing, right?
Yeah.
Our encouragement is to push through that. It's normal and natural. And on the other side of it, there is rest and presence, and it's well worth it.
Yeah.
And then the other portion is that community and doing it together with others, and learning to be walked into that experience. I don't think I've ever learned a single thing on my own. That it's always been in a network of relationships, in a network of coaching relationships where I have mentors speaking in my life, and in peers. Nick, you have taught me so much especially about this area of breath work and using the breath and the body to calm down the brain, to experience a deeper experience of fulfillment spiritually, physically, psychologically, in a way that's been radically beneficial. And so Our encouragement
Yeah.
is to lean into relationships in the midst of all of this. Get curious together with the
Yeah.
people around you, or if they're not, find others in your life that will be. Create those relationships. Take the
So
initiative to
good.
be able to develop that.